Oh, oh, oh God.
What happened?
I sat on my balls. Oh no. Oh God, no.
You're not wearing your sheath?
No. All my sheath are in the laundry. Oh. Stop sitting on your balls. Get Sheath Underwear. Buy enough so that you never run out or have any in your laundry. Go to sheathunderwear.com. Use my promo code RRBG and save 20%. Trust me, this is the worst. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the RRBG podcast. I'm here with the legendary Shavo Odadjian. How are you doing, brother?
Good,
did I say
man.
that?
Good.
Did I say that right? The last name? Odadjian? Odadjian? Did I say it right?
Say it again.
Odadjian?
You got it.
Yeah.
Odadjian. How I say it.
Yeah. How have you been, brother? I mean, you seem like you're busier than ever during a time that a lot of musicians are kind of on hold and waiting around. Like you've been putting out music nonstop.
Yeah, bro. We were, before the pandemic, I had this whole 2020 plan, you know? We were going to launch 22 Red in different states, launch North Kingsley, which is the new group. Mm-hmm. And then tour with System, and then come back and do the volume 2, and then more states, and just kind of like I had a big, because 2020 was, because my number is 22, and I thought 2020 was 22 because you take the zeros out and it's 22, right?
Okay.
I was like, this is my year. I'm all about numerology and shit. So this is the year. So now I'm waiting on 2022, you know? But anyhow, but then it just got stopped right in March, a year ago exactly to date. And so I had to make best, you know? I'm not one to ever fall. If I'm falling, I don't stay down. I try to get up, you know? Sure. So I was like, what do we do? We still launched in Nevada and Arizona. We didn't do any big parties except for we got away with Arizona because it was early. We did it in February. We launched February 22nd in Arizona last year, 2020.
Wow, and right on the line.
Yeah, I went there, met everybody. I got really sick afterwards. I think I might have had COVID back then too. I actually got COVID in January of this year from a studio session I went in with some people. I'm not going to name. But so I had it back then, I think, because it was really I felt really shitty, bro. It was like the worst I've ever had. And then when I got it, literally when I knew what I had this last time, I feel like it was similar, but I don't know. So we did that. And then I dropped North Kingsley in August of 2020, just 3 songs. I even like shortened the whole amount of songs I'm gonna drop just because of ADD, you know, like people just can't focus on too many new things
right
all at once, especially a new project with a new genre from a person they already know who is from a different genre of music, if you know what I mean. It's really hard to take in. So I just dropped 3 songs in August, and then we did 3 more in December, and now we have like 10 to 12 that I'm kind of holding. And I have some really good plans for that. I'm just going to hold it till like summer, I think. So when the touring begins again in fall, knock on wood, we can support the music this time around. It's really hard to support music, man. Like, I know you asked me one question, I'm going off, but it was something big, you know, because I mean, I come from System of a Down 1990s, 2000s, where, you know, I know how to market. I know how to promote a band. I know what to do. But we don't have those tools anymore right now. We don't have the touring. We don't have the means of like opening up for other bands. And so I had to take another approach. And it was like kind of like learning as I went, because it's a new style of marketing with like social media and, you know, playlisting and all this stuff. Like I had no idea. So I kind of learned as I went. It was like jumping in a pool of water, not knowing how to swim.
Yeah.
Kind of dog paddling your way into learning. So hence I learned, and here we are. We've dropped 6 songs. We're in 3 states with the brand. The band is that. And then System tour got postponed, half canceled, half postponed. I don't even know where we're at. I just know we are doing the LA shows 100%. So that's where we're at right now.
That's incredible, man. I mean, that's a lot of work. And even in between all that, you guys System of a Down decided to drop some new music too after like 15 years.
I forgot about that. Yeah, so that happened when the war broke out in Armenia.
Yeah.
The hostility over there was crazy, and you know, our people are small. You know, we don't have a big we're not big, we're not rich. Our lands are not, I mean, our lands might be rich but we don't take advantage of it. You know what I mean? We're more about family and I don't know. We're not a rich country. So we got bombarded by these other countries that Azerbaijan in particular and Turkey, with the aid of Turkey, we got attacked. And so we felt really bad and we had to do something. So it was kind of like one of those, I don't care what we're going through, let's get up and do this. This is bigger than us. This is bigger than the System of a Down. So, and who else to do it besides us? If we didn't do it, shame on us. So we got together, did a couple of songs Darren had already kind of written, because the timing was the essence. It's not like we had time to go in and write music.
Right.
It was already written. We went in, we systemized it, we do what we do, and dropped them. Did 2 videos. I helped direct both, executive produced both.
Very nice.
Just kept busy, man. Gotta do it.
Yeah. With the war thing, it's over the resources that are in the land.
It's over it's a long story, bro. So Armenia used to be this big ass country, right? Back in the day, and in like 1920, some of our lands were taken away by Stalin and given to Azerbaijan, and they kind of formed a country which became a republic of the USSR back then. That was during the Soviet Revolution. And they were mostly like Mongols and Turks, that were kind of the same religion, the same dialect, same, similar language. And, Armenia was the first Christian nation, or first nation to accept Christianity as a national religion. You know what I'm saying? So we were like bombarded with other religions around us. And you know how religion is like, starts wars and shit,
Yeah.
So we also have resources, and there was a little section called Artsakh that was Eastern Armenia. What happened was, so Stalin, to appease Turkey, gave that to a group of people and called it Azerbaijan. This happened in the 20th century, so it's like 1920, 1918, 1921, around that era, that time. Mm-hmm. And so we lost. Our people still live there. Our people have lived there for thousands of years. All the churches have Armenian writing. Like Armenia has their own alphabet, their own language, everything, right? So you can, if you see pictures, it's all our churches, all our people still living there. We didn't leave. We kind of like, they gave it away. Now all these like our people are living in another country's name is different,
Yeah.
So it was a republic, like a territory. So in around 1988 and 90, when the Soviet Revolution broke up, there was no more USSR. Armenia took that back. Not Armenia, but Artsakh took it back with Armenia's help, of course.
Yeah.
And so what happened was they attacked in November, right before, there was elections in America, COVID. So everyone's thinking about themselves, and everyone's already in turmoil in the world. So perfect time. All eyes are closed. Everyone's looking the other way. They attacked our people. I mean, we don't even have a real army, bro. We do, but we don't, We don't have the weapons they had. They brought Syrian mercenaries who got paid to destroy our people, saying this is a holy war. It's because of Muslims and Christians. It's really not, it wasn't any of that. Long story short, bro, they got their way. Our prime minister, who was only in power for about 2 years, not very experienced in what he's doing, kind of signed a treaty. But there's a lot of things being said about that, so I can't even really know exactly what went down. But to us, it seemed like he signed a treaty giving away a lot of our territories, which to the Azerbaijanis, so the war would end. So they would stop attacking and everything, because it was relentless, bro. We lost over 4,000 17 to 20-year-olds, man. So it wasn't good, We're not a lot of people. If you want to look at it with numbers, okay, so Azerbaijan has about 10 million people. Turkey, I think, has about 80. We have about 3. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and, the Artsakh area was about 200,000, 100,000, 150,000 people. And they tried to say that we attacked them and we're taking their territory. We're just living somewhere, bro. It's about people not being displaced, and that's what happened. So when they signed this treaty, so-called treaty, they kind of made us leave, and they destroyed our churches, and they took old people out of their homes. They killed them. There's videos of some horrific crimes against humanity, war crimes. They still till today have a lot of our prisoners of war, they're not giving them back. They're torturing them. Until today, they said we signed a treaty and stuff, but they're still, because no one's still looking at us, bro. No one, Armenia is not important in the world for world powers. You know, we're not like an important country to back. You know, they're in bed with Turkey, who's in bed with Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan does all the oils and shit. They give them, so there's a lot of politics involved. And this happens in other countries also, bro. A lot of third world countries. We're not a third world country, but we're kind of looked at like we are, you know? Armenians are very smart people, man. They do a lot, but then they're also not so smart when they're, you know, well, what happened is after all that, our country kind of got split in two, where people were, half people are against the prime minister now, saying he shouldn't have given all these lands away. We went to war, our kids died. And then the other half is saying, well, this was something he had to do because our kids were dying. So, you know what I'm saying? It's like black and white, and there's no gray.
That's crazy, man.
That's where we're at. So the songs that we did write and release, we gave 100% of all of the profits to the cause to help with soldiers that came back that needed prosthetics and stuff. And then we also, the other half went to displaced families that had to leave their homes. Armenians were like burning their homes and leaving, bro. So they already have their, it was crazy, bro. Like watching it was like it's very, very sad. For anyone, you don't have to be Armenian to feel.
Yeah, for sure. It's if you're a human, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a human thing. These people didn't deserve any of that. They were sitting there living like simple lives of farmers, and it's not like there's cities and shit with like skyscrapers, and it's like very simple.
It blows my mind that to this day that this is something that we're still dealing with as a human race. Like, we have more access to information, we have more access to each other, and yet still people are dealing with this kind of craziness. And and you guys, the band System, and the Kardashians are all representatives of Armenia. Like, they're some of the biggest names in the world. I mean, at least in the U.S. in pop culture. The Kardashians are huge. The System of a Down is huge. So you would think that there would be a little bit more attention in that direction to help out.
Celebrity means nothing to politics. Politics is pretty much has its own thing. I can go further, but let's not.
No.
I gave you enough information. I think I was pretty clear on.
Yeah, for sure.
And what went down. It's just we are people that don't really we're not. We're not like aggressors, we were protecting ourselves at that point.
Right. And well, with North Kingsley, to talk about that, I mean, the lyrics are also politically charged, I would say. Sure. So it's something that obviously you are passionate about, that the issues that we face as humans with politics and everything. So
it's more social than politics, and because the way I say it is the reason why I say it is because politics plays a very important part of society nowadays. So, so when you're trying to be social, it's really hard to not be political at some point. I don't like being so political because today it's like everyone's political, bro.
Right.
Everyone is, and I don't want to be that. I know I come from like System of a Down, where that's what we spoke of a lot, But I kind of want to be a little funner, but still raise awareness, man. Still raise awareness about like things happening around the world and the society. And, we have songs like Die for the Pig, which is like Instagram world. And, we were just talking about that before the interview started, the algorithms and all that shit. It's like people care, and like it ruins people's lives. Kids nowadays, like imagine you're a big guy and you're looking at it, you have a business and you look at your likes and maybe, how come I didn't get so many likes on this post? Imagine how kids are dealing with that, bro. Like 15-year-olds that their acceptance is from likes and from follows and how many friends you have on Instagram or Twitter or wherever, TikTok. Yeah. And it's just kind of sad that, if I'm feeling it through my business going, wait a second, this post was a beautiful post. How come it didn't get the amount of likes it gets usually? Imagine how these kids are feeling, bro. Because it's personal for them. For me, it's business. For them, it's personal.
Yeah, because I remember being a kid and having to deal with that in school. And it was just a small group of friends, like 10 people. Yeah. And now it's the world. Now you have the entire world judging you as a kid.
You even could leave a comment on what you like. You might be proud of something. Put a comment. There's bullies out there. There's always going to be bullies, and these bullies are cyberbullying these kids, man. Yeah. Like making them feel bad about taking a step, taking a chance. Doing something that makes them feel good, but because that kid was, or that other person, or who knows if they're even kids, anyone has access to you unless you're private. So yeah, bro, it's a crazy time we're living, and North Kingsley speaks about all that. Our singer Ray Hawthorne, very very awake person,
Woke,
very
as the kids call it.
woke. But like, he makes fun of that too. With everyone's trying to be woke. I'm woke. I know this. I know that. Because
Yeah.
he says it. He goes, I'm woke, and I get he goes, instead of voting, they put bumper stickers about how woke they are. You know.
Exactly.
It's true. That's the society we're living in. So yeah, Ray's really amazing. Sorrow, amazing producer. Growing a lot, like daily. I see, because when I got together with them, it was more of a production thing, and then it became a band, because we all grew off each other, which is really good. I see the progress of the songs that were being written 2.5 years from now to today is like worlds. It's like night and day.
So when you were, because I read a little bit about when you started, you were just wanting to figure out how to make your own music and learn these software and all this stuff. And you mentioned that it started, like you said, it started like a production company to make beats for other people.
Yes.
But then it became a band. What made you choose to do like a hip hop as opposed to like another genre? Not that I'm judging. I love both sides, but like a lot of, like you've said in other interviews, that some of your System fans might be thrown off by the hip hop. And like, I grew up listening to both, so I'm fine. But there's a lot of people that would be like, oh, that's weird. Why go in another genre like that instead of like maybe, still rock, but maybe softer or maybe even heavier, like death metal or something,
Which I love, by the way.
Yeah.
So if that's what I meant by day and night. If you hear the shit that we're writing now, you'll see where we're going. What it is it's an evolution, right? Music is that, and art is that. I'm not writing to appease anyone. Mm-hmm. We're not. None of us are. But we do write for ourselves and what we're feeling at the moment. And that's how it started. The beats are trappy, but yet complex. We use, Sorrow designs every sound. Like his kick drums are his kick drums. There's no other artist using that sound as kick, because he developed that sound through Logic and through programs, And so it's an evolution. It started off as us not rock band. It was more like in the studio, and in the studio it's either electronic or hip hop vibes, And I'm intrigued by hip hop. I always have been. I've been listening at Public Enemy, NWA, Beastie Boys, Eric B. and Rakim, Tribe Called Quest. That was what I grew up on. And then, and not to mention many other beautiful, amazing artists. And then I also loved Slayer and Sepultura and Obituary and freaking Cannibal Corpse, and Kiss and Led Zeppelin. So these are all influences, right? So it started off, you've only heard 6 songs. And you can tell there's an element, like the last thing we dropped was Shadowbox. And Shadowbox is actually not really hip hop. It's kind of singing, is more of a melodic tune, which we left you off there saying that to be continued.
Right. Okay.
And now he's actually really developing his sing. He's a singer as much as he is a rapper. He was really not a rapper. He was in a punk rock band back in the day, Ray. But he really flows well. I really like his raspy tone. And so I was intrigued by it, and that's what we chose to do. I think it's a new type of hip hop. I call it like heavy hip hop, because the basis is that electronic, but we're also using guitars and basses, grungy shit, So,
yeah.
And developing into something different now.
Yeah, I love it. I'm excited.
There's a lot more singing, a lot more yelling, passion, screaming. I can't wait for you guys to hear the new tracks that we've come up with. Complicated transitions, more of what I'm known for than what you heard. But what we dropped was like our first 6 things we did. And it was kind of the introduction. And I really wanted to build a foundation of like true people that love that. And then they could see us progress, into what we're still an embryo. We're still a baby band, Remember, sure. I hardly did any marketing. I've done podcasts here and there, interviews and stuff, but never really did a big launch. We don't have a major label. We don't have major distribution. I'm doing everything off of 22 Media, which is the subsidiary of 22 Red, which is all music. So yeah, man, I'm funding it all myself, just kind of like doing what I know how to do and learning as I go. But I think the next slew of songs are going to be pushed a little more. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Yeah, that's the future. Really, the way you're doing it is the future, because it's not the back when System was at the peak. It was still the label time. Like you're on a label and the label's pushing you
it
out,
took
and they're
care of
putting.
everything. Yeah, it was a machine. It was like we had a machine running it for us.
Yeah.
We did what we do as artists. Now I have to put on different hats.
Right.
It's tough. I have the cannabis lifestyle brand. I have my bands, and then I have to be business around my bands also. So I have to also think about where I'm putting the money in. If it's going into marketing, if it's going to social media, if it's going into videos, if it's going to, there's so many places. And, when you're in a band your whole life, you don't see that side so much,
Yeah.
So live and learn.
Yeah. North Kingsley's, you said there was like 10 or 11 songs. Is that going to be as an album, or are you going to keep going with the EP release thing?
It was going to be EPs, but now the way the songs are coming out, and if we do have the opportunity to play, I think it'll probably be an album, but don't quote me, because like I said, we're waiting till summer. We already have the 10, 12 songs. We're writing more every day. We just did a new one last night. We're very inspired recently, so I'm not putting anything on it. Maybe a song with the new vibe, introduce the new vibe, and then an album, and then a tour. That would be amazing, because we want to take this live. It's not a hip hop band with some guy with a machine in the back, a DJ. It's more of like, I'll be playing that shit. There'll be energy. If you've ever watched me play with System, that's going to happen. I'm going to give that energy. And these guys are also my singer. Like Ray is out of control. He can't wait to show his passion, He's kind of taken a back seat so far. He's done only a few things, interviews. No one's really heard from him. I think once we go live, I think people will be noticing him way more. And the whole
That's
band.
good, man.
Yeah.
That's really good.
I really want it to be noticed. I want this to be like my side project only. I think it's a new thing. It's just like I want them to be as big as they can be too, and grow, and be, yeah.
For sure. And I mean, the quality's there. I mean, from what I heard, the 6 songs that I heard, they're all like, production is top notch, and the music, the writing itself is really good, because I love hip hop, but I'm not into some of the newer stuff.
Agreed.
Like, and
one beat that goes like this, and then they just kind of with the vocal melodies change up the parts, but the beat's the same, doesn't change. There's no nothing,
Yeah.
I try to incorporate all the shit I learned from System and through Rick and stuff, how to go from the verse to the chorus and make some less, and that, that's the executive production I picked up off of watching Rick do it to System.
Yeah, for sure. The hooks are the journey to the hooks in the chorus are so important, and that's something that you guys used to do great in System. That's get stuck in your head. That's the important thing, like, and in a good way, and not like just a loop, like you were saying, of some of the newer songs where it's just the same thing over and over, and
new words.
Yeah. But that's great to hear. I'm excited to see it. Once touring goes back up and running, I assume System might kick back into gear as well. Do you think that's going to be a big problem for you to like kind of manage time between trying to lift up North Kingsley and then maybe like if System gets back into full motion?
No, not at all, bro. No problem whatsoever. When System needs me, we never really do long ones. It's like maximum will be a 2 months, month and a half, and I'll take that break from North Kingsley, and then the rest of the year, because North Kingsley will have me.
Okay.
It would not be an issue. It'll actually help North Kingsley.
Yeah, and you can even take it on the road together. Like if there's like a tour,
because then we all have side projects, and then everyone's going to be like, I want mine to open. I'm going to do 2 sets. I'll be tired all day. No, I'll keep System as is. Maybe one day, but I'll keep System as is. Go do what I got to do there. Meanwhile, for some reason, when I go on tour with System, I get really inspired to write music. So I always have a guitar with me in the room. I'm sure I'll write a slew of music, a bunch of stuff that I can bring back to North Kingsley and be like, hell yeah, here we go. This is I already have the next album, guys. So, yeah.
Well, we're almost out of time, but I wanted to just maybe touch on the 22 Red a little bit. It's a cannabis lifestyle fashion brand. Mm-hmm. What got you into that? Have you always been a smoker of cannabis, or is this something that when it started legalizing in certain states that you got more into it?
Well, I've been a smoker since I was about 20, 21 years old. I became a connoisseur on our first tour when I met Arjan Roscan, who's the owner of the Greenhouse seed company in Amsterdam, who invented like the White Widow and the Super Silver and the Super Lemon Haze and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. I met him accidentally and we hit it off, and I tried all his strains. You know, in LA you can try strains. It was just like whatever was available you got and smoked, right?
Yeah.
Here it was a menu and shit. So I was like, fucking let me have a little bit of everything. And I took it to my room. I smoked it. Long story short, he invited me to a harvest tasting, like that season's harvest tasting. And it was like a Thanksgiving table with like bowls of weed. And I think you can find that on YouTube. If you put in like System Getting High or something, it's in there, a small amount of it, because they were filming at the time. And that just turned me into the connoisseur. It was like wine. I don't want to get high. I just want to taste. I don't want to look at, and I don't want to like smell. And it all became a part of me. So throughout the years, I just kept smoking, and I, you know, not just to get high. Again, this is, some people just smoke to get high and sit on the couch. Not me. I do stuff. I'm very go-getter, high energy. So I smoke and I do things. And and everyone wanted me to have a strain when it got legal in 2006 in LA, Cali, medically legal. Everyone wanted me to have a strain and have this. I just didn't want to get involved. I was just like, nah, that was not my thing. I should have. It would have gone crazy, but I didn't. I waited. And when I was introduced to my partner, one of my partners, who actually is like one of the founding growers from like Cali from back in like 2006 and 2007, or maybe 10, you know, 09, 2010, he was like one of the first people to grow OG back then, with, of course, the legends out there like Kenji and all those other guys and Wonder Brett. He's one of those guys. And he, when I saw his grow, I was like, I could represent this. You know, I said, this is really cool. And we were already doing a lifestyle brand. We didn't have the name 22 yet. And it kind of was like, let's just make it full encompassing. And at that, it was 2017, and Cali was going to get legalized to like recreational, which was a good time for me to get in and not worry about anything and say, I can do this now and speak about it without having to have that like
worried about it, the illegalness about it.
Weird stigma. But who cares? I never was one to care about stigmas, but it was just the right time. I met the right people, good time in my life. I had clarity. I had, you know, I had cleaned myself up of a lot of stuff that I had dabbled in a little while back. And so I was just like this newfound person. I got my kids, got my wife, everyone's settled. Let's go. New thing in my, you know, in the horizon. And that's what it was. And we built it, bro. We started in Cali, little 3 guys, no investment, just us putting some money in and doing what we can. And now we're in 3 states. We have a full company. We have a CEO, we have a COO. It's going, bro. We're hoping to scale to 3 more states within 2021, 2022, to 3 to 5 more states that we're looking at the moment, and see where it takes us, man. So yeah, and we have high quality apparel that I help design, and because I always, you know, I never wanted to just, if it was going to be a nice brand thing, I don't want it to be like band merch where it's just like get any t-shirt, any fit, throw your name on it, sell it.
Right.
I'm like checking out every shirt, and very minimal branding, you know, not like, you know, let's go.
I like that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is like the 22 shirts are blank with like 2s in the back or something on the sleeve. I have writings inside, like cool little, you know, it's for stoners. So like, you know, when you look inside, you'd be like, oh shit, it said something to me. But it speaks, you know, it's cool little vibes, you know, and the quality has to be the best on the cannabis. I do the quality control myself. I send my grower to other states to make sure that they're growing the way we do here in Cali. You know, it's just, we're trying to do it right, man. Stay consistent. Not one person has ever complained about the quality of our cannabis or our clothing, ever. So, that's good, you know?
Hell yeah, man. That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. When I moved to LA, that's when I discovered like the spectrum of weed and the different, you know, strains and quality and everything. Cause I you know, I grew up in Florida, and it was just, you know, a 2-hour mission in a shady neighborhood to get some like ragweed, you know?
Well, we've toured all over the place, so I know how that is. We get somewhere, no one has it. I have to walk with someone down a shady street. I'm like, should I even be here for a little sack of nothing, you know? So
yeah. When I moved out here, I went to a dispensary, and they had like, because I did a lot of craft beer, and it's a similar world. It's the hops are a cousin to the cannabis. So, but it was just funny to walk into a dispensary and see a table, and the dude's like, "Oh, would you like to sample?" And I'm like, "What?" Yeah. Yeah, man. But you know, I know we're out of time, but I want to thank you for your time. You know,
thank you for having me.
I wish you the best of luck with all the you know, the different projects you got. I'm going to be watching and you know, supporting. I'm a big fan, so I'm all about it, brother.
Thank you, my man. I appreciate that very much.
Hey, brother. Take care. Thank you again.
Be good.
Cheers.
Bye.